Hi beautiful soul, please listen closely. The angels are gently connecting with your energy right now. They want to help you understand why someone might be testing you, trying to learn everything about you, wanting to truly get who you are. Dear one, the angels are watching over you with so much care. They see you quietly wondering about this person who's come into your life. They aren't just admiring you. They seem to be studying you, watching you with an intensity that feels like more than just friendly interest. Maybe at first it felt like a genuine connection. But over time, maybe their words and actions started hinting at something else, that this person isn't just there to appreciate you, but to test you. And you, dear one, are starting to wonder why. Why would someone want to understand you so deeply? Not just the surface stuff, but the hidden corners, the feelings you've moved past, the truths you hold inside? The angels say, this isn't a game or manipulation. It's the quiet action of a soul looking for certainty in a world that hasn't given them much of it. When they look at you, they see something their spirit hasn't seen before. A quiet strength, deep feelings, a presence that's just real, not trying to be something it's not. And honestly, scares them a bit, but it also intrigues them. So they test. Not to hurt you, but to see if what you are is real. Type amen if you trust in God. You, dear one, have walked away from many things that weren't right for you anymore. You've left behind people, places, and old versions of yourself that were needed once but became too heavy. You didn't leave because you were cold. You left because your soul needed more, because staying where your light was dimmed just prolonged the hurt. And this person, who's watching you so closely now, who's testing your heart, they sense that. They sense the layers in you, the past pain, the changes you've made, the quiet wisdom you gained not from books, but from the ache of letting go. They sense you're not someone who plays around with temporary things, that you aren't easily fooled by words. They feel you've built your soul like a safe place, not easy to just walk into, but full of treasures for those who come with respect. This is where their testing comes from. They aren't sure yet if they fit into your world. They aren't sure if they can handle a heart like yours without accidentally hurting it. So they test, not with bad intentions but with quiet fear. Fear that what they're feeling for you might be real, and if it is, they really don't want to mess it up. The angels want you to understand that your energy is different. You don't put up with things that aren't fully true. You don't pretend to be less than you are just to make others feel comfortable. You've reached a point in your journey where being emotionally honest is just how you live. You don't chase things that don't feel right, and you don't stick around trying to explain yourself to people who seem determined to misunderstand you. So, when someone new shows up and feels drawn to your truth, it shakes them. Not because you did anything wrong, but because they aren't used to being near someone who loves so deeply, so quietly, so fiercely. They're testing you because they're also testing themselves. They want to know if they can match your depth. They want to know if they're truly ready to stop running, stop pretending, and finally be truly known and still loved. And in figuring that out, they focus on you not to control you, but to measure their own readiness. Dear one, the angels say you have nothing to prove. You've already shown who you are and what you stand for through every choice you've made. You're the one who walks away not with bitterness, but with grace. You're the one who doesn't argue to be seen but chooses quiet dignity instead. You're the one who has cried privately and smiled publicly. And now, someone has entered your world and is standing at the edge of your deep river, unsure if they can swim in it. Let them hesitate, let them question, but don't let their doubt become your problem. You aren't here to convince anyone you're worthy. You're here to be steady in what you know and let those who are meant to walk with you step forward when they're ready. This message, dear one, isn't just about their curiosity. It's also a mirror for you, showing you how far you've come. It reminds you that the version of you that once pleaded to be understood now simply stands in their truth and allows themselves to be discovered. This isn't rejection, it's revelation. Someone is trying to know everything about you because your presence has touched a part of them they kept hidden, even from themselves. You remind them of what they might have lost or what they could become. And now they watch you, not to find flaws, but to find the courage to meet you where you already are. The angels ask you to stay soft but smart. Let this person explore, but not if it costs you your peace. If they're meant to journey with you, they will rise to the occasion. They'll stop testing and start trusting. They'll see that your heart isn't a puzzle to solve, but a sacred space to be honored. And if they aren't ready, then you'll walk on, just like you always have, with grace in your steps and fire in your soul. You are not here to perform for anyone. You are here to be a reminder that real love doesn't test. It learns, it listens, it stays. So let the questions come, let the tests happen, let their uncertainty exist without letting it seep into your spirit. You are the answer they're looking for, even if they don't know how to ask the right question yet. And in time, if they are meant for you, they'll stop trying to test your truth and simply stand beside it. The angels hold your heart now with pride, protection, and endless love. They remind you, you are not too much, not too mysterious, not too far ahead. You are exactly who you were always meant to be. A soul so full of light that those still finding their way in the dark feel both wonder and fear when they look at you. Dear one, the angels are standing gently behind you right now, their hands resting on your shoulders, guiding your heart with the deepest compassion. They know what you're experiencing isn't just confusing, it's emotionally draining. Someone in your life seems drawn to you, to your light, your words, your truth. Yet, instead of welcoming your presence peacefully, they seem to challenge it. There's tension in their energy. Sometimes they might provoke conversations, stir up quiet conflicts, or ask questions that feel more like accusations than genuine curiosity. And you've started to wonder, with a heavy heart, why it feels like this person isn't just trying to know you, but maybe trying to push you until you react. Trying to pull out every hidden part of you so they can measure it, compare it, or even argue with it. The angels want you to understand, dear one, that this isn't about your worth. It's not a sign that something is wrong with you. This is about the battle happening inside them. It's about the conflict they carry, the insecurity that pops up when they see your confidence. It's the struggle between their desire to trust you and their fear of what you represent. Type 1. Believe if you believe in God's plan. You're not difficult to love, dear one. You're just deeply authentic. And being real like that can make people uncomfortable, especially if they've spent most of their lives putting up walls, hiding behind roles or masks that help them survive but never let them truly be seen. And now you show up with a spirit so open, so aligned, so free of pretending, that it shakes something loose inside them. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your truth messes with the illusions they've lived by. This is why it feels like they're testing you. Why they ask things not just to hear your answer, but to dig underneath it. Why they question your motives, your choices, even your softness. They aren't used to someone being so clear, so grounded, so real. Part of them wonders if it's an act, if you're too good to be true. So they press, they provoke, maybe they even argue, and not really to win, but to see if you'll bend. To see if your grace will break, if your calm is real or just a performance. They don't yet understand that what they're seeing isn't a game. It's just you in your true, whole self. The angels ask you to look at this situation with compassion, even while you protect your own energy. You aren't here to prove yourself, justify your light, or defend your character against someone else's inner turmoil. But you are being shown something powerful, that your very presence highlights where others still carry chaos. The person testing you doesn't hate you. Actually, they're fascinated by you, but their soul isn't at peace. When they get close to your peace, it brings up everything they've tried to bury. So they project, they wrestle, they resist. It's not personal. It's like you're a mirror. And even though they might not realize it yet, your energy is teaching them, not through lectures or corrections, but through your stillness, your patience, your refusal to jump into the fight they keep trying to start. Dear one, you aren't meant to shrink when faced with conflict. You're meant to shine brighter. Right now, the angels want you to know that someone testing you this deeply isn't a sign that the universe doubts you. It's a sign that your positive energy is so strong, it's causing inner shifts in those who come near. This person isn't fighting with you, they're fighting with themselves. But they're doing it near you because they feel, maybe for the first time, that there's something different about this connection. And that difference terrifies them. They're trying to poke holes in you to see if you'll fall apart. What they don't realize yet is that you've already been through storms. You've already been broken and rebuilt. Now you don't shatter, you rise. This testing, this struggle for control or dominance, isn't about truth. It's about fear. And in that fear, there's a longing, a deep soul longing to understand how someone like you exists. Someone who can be strong and soft, firm and forgiving, powerful yet peaceful. They're testing you because they want to know if you're safe, not just for them to love, but maybe for them to become like. Your presence shows them who they could be, and that reflection is overwhelming. So they fight it, but what they're really fighting is the part of themselves that knows they need to change. Let your soul stay grounded, dear one. You're not here to play tug-of-war with someone's ego. You're here to show them, by being consistent, that there's a way beyond conflict, a path of mutual respect, emotional safety, and deep connection. If they're meant to walk that path with you, they'll stop resisting. They'll stop testing. They'll come to you not as a challenger, but as a partner. And if they're not ready, know that it wasn't your failure. It was just their timing. You are not too much. You are not intimidating. You are a mirror, and only those ready to truly see themselves will meet your gaze without fear. Music transition implied. Dear one, the angels gather around you today with gentle wisdom. What you're facing right now isn't just someone being curious. It's a soul deeply trying to understand something they can't quite put into words. You've found yourself in a connection where someone seems to be studying you, questioning your beliefs, watching your values, like they're trying to figure out some secret code. You might feel like they're not just getting to know you, but testing you, challenging you, almost asking you to prove you are who you seem to be. The angels see this not as an attack, but as a reflection of a deep conflict inside that person. They aren't trying to question your goodness, dear one. They're trying to make sense of you compared to the way they've always seen the world, a way built on traditions, expectations, and old truths that never really gave them the freedom to see love and connection the way you live it. Type strong if you trust in God's presence. You, dear one, are different. Your spirit isn't loud, but it's powerful. You walk with a quiet strength, clarity about what you believe, and a real connection to something beyond the everyday. This creates an energy around you that others feel, even if they can't explain it. The person testing you isn't challenging your truth because they're mean. They're doing it because you've shown them something their mind can't fully grasp, but their heart desperately wants to believe in. You're making them ask questions they never dared to ask before. You're loosening up the tight ideas they were taught about love, life, connection, and worth. So they keep coming to you with questions that sound like doubt, with skepticism mixed with longing. They're trying to understand how someone like you can be so calm, so grounded, so faithful to something unseen yet so clearly real. The angels whisper that this isn't the time to take their questioning personally. It's time to remember that you are like a living lesson for them, a mirror reflecting back what their soul has always wanted to know. That love can be pure, that truth doesn't need to shout to be strong, that you can follow a spiritual path based on devotion, not just rules. They see that in you, and because of it, they test it. Not to break you, but to see if it holds up. They're wondering if your faith is real, if your patience is consistent, if your wisdom is something you actually live or just talk about. Because if it is real, then maybe everything they thought they knew about the world was too limited. Maybe there's more, and that possibility is terrifying for someone who has only known structure and control. So they test not only you, but the space between their old world and the new one your presence is inviting them into. Dear one, your soul has been here before. You're a teacher in spirit, even if you never intended to be. You carry energies of healing, truth, and ancient light within you. And those who come near you will either rise to meet that energy or struggle against it. The person in your life right now isn't trying to harm you. They're trying to find their footing in a new way of understanding love and spirit. And you might be the first one who has made them feel there's something more beyond the surface. You don't need to answer every question. You don't need to defend what you know deep down is true. You only need to stay steady. Live your truth, don't just speak it. Embody your beliefs, don't just explain them. Because what they're really looking for can't be found through logic. It will be felt through your example, your patience, your unwavering commitment to your own inner path. This is why they're so drawn to you. Why they come closer even after pulling away. Why they stay confused but can't seem to stay away. It's because your energy represents the bridge between what they were told to believe and what they are starting to feel is possible. You are the doorway, dear one, And standing at that doorway, they are afraid. Not of you, but of leaving behind everything they thought they knew. Afraid of stepping into something unknown but beautiful. Something that requires vulnerability, trust, and letting go. You've stirred something sacred in them. A desire to go deeper, understand themselves, connect with someone not just for company, but for meaning. Even if they can't say it out loud, their soul is reaching for that through every question they ask, every moment they linger, every time they return. Let yourself breathe here. Let yourself rest knowing that their testing isn't rejection. It's curiosity. It's respect hidden behind resistance. It's the mind struggling to catch up with what the soul already knows, that you are someone different, someone true, someone sent into their life to show them what real, deep connection feels like. The angels don't ask you to change anything about yourself. In fact, they urge you to continue just as you are, grounded, compassionate, full of grace. You don't need to play any role or win them over. You only need to trust that those who are meant to understand you will eventually, and those who can't will still be touched by the wisdom you leave behind. So, when they ask why you believe what you do, when they push against your values or question your depth, don't shrink. Don't second-guess the divine spark within you. Know that you are awakening something sacred in another person. And that awakening process can be messy, uncomfortable, and full of resistance, but it's also holy. You aren't just being tested. You are being revealed to them, and perhaps even more so to yourself. You're being reminded that your truth isn't fragile. It doesn't need defending. It simply needs to be lived. Dear one, the angels are gently leaning close to your soul right now. They feel the weight on your heart, the quiet burden of being watched so closely, not just with affection, but with a kind of curious analysis. Someone near you isn't just admiring your spirit. They're observing it intensely, questioning it softly, almost pulling it apart piece by piece, as if trying to understand your very core through tiny details. While it might seem like they're just interested, the angels reveal this goes much deeper than surface curiosity. This person is testing you, not with malice, but with hesitation. Not because they want to hurt you, but because they're trying to figure out the true value of what's standing right in front of them. And you, dear one, are that very thing. Something rare, something deeply rooted, something they sense could change their whole path if they let themselves believe in it. But first, they feel they need time. They're examining not just your words, but your consistency. Not just your presence, but your patience. Not just your heart, but how long it can stay open without losing itself. Type 11 if you believe in your guardian angels. You've been planting seeds in this connection for a while now, maybe without even realizing it. Every moment of grace, every act of honesty, every time you chose understanding instead of reacting, you were planting something within them. And now they're watching to see if it will grow. They are testing, yes, but not out of cruelty. It's out of uncertainty. Uncertainty about themselves, about their readiness, about their ability to hold on to something so real. Because you represent something they aren't used to. You represent stability, emotional investment, authenticity without needing anything in return. They might be used to things that bloom quickly and disappear just as fast. But you, dear one, aren't like a flower that's here today and gone tomorrow. You're like a slow-growing tree. Steady, sacred, and deeply rooted in truth. And that confuses them. It challenges their usual pace. It makes them pause and watch. They're watching to see if your love stays the same tomorrow as it is today. If your soul is as nurturing as it seems. If your intentions are truly pure, without hidden motives. And although it might feel like you're being constantly measured, the angels say this isn't judgment. It's all disguised as doubt. You're being studied because you're being considered as something more than temporary. You're being questioned because the heart looking at you is wondering if it's finally safe to trust again. The angels ask you to be patient, not just for their sake, but for yours. Because what you're experiencing isn't resistance. It's a slow revelation. This person isn't running away. They're standing still and watching, with a depth they might not even understand themselves. They're trying to figure out if their soul can rest beside yours. If your presence is something they can build a future with, not just feel good around for a moment. They're observing your cycles. how you handle disappointment, how you react under pressure, how you stay steady when things are unclear. Yes, that can feel tiring. But the angels want you to remember who you are. You aren't here to convince anyone. You're here to be consistent. Because your consistency is the very thing they never got in past relationships. This person has known chaos, dear one. They've known love that promised things but never delivered. They've known passion that burned bright but never stayed warm. And now, in you, they see something different. Something that waits. Something that builds. Something that doesn't need to shout to be heard. But before they open their heart completely, they're measuring the rhythm of yours. Trying to see if it's strong enough to carry them through the storms they haven't even talked about yet. They want to understand if what they're feeling is real. And so they test not because they doubt you, but because they're afraid of losing something they haven't even dared to fully hold yet. The angels say, this is your moment to root deeper, not to get louder. Be still. Be kind. Be steady in your love, but absolutely firm in your self-worth. Let them ask. Let them watch. Let them linger in uncertainty while you stay anchored in your own truth. Because the truth is, their soul already knows. Their mind is just catching up. Dear one, the angels draw near with deep respect. They see you're carrying more than just questions. You're carrying a quiet exhaustion. The kind that builds up not from physical work, but from constantly having to hold onto your truth in a world that keeps asking you to prove it. There's someone in your life right now who seems to be watching you with careful eyes. Someone who isn't just curious about who you are, but seems determined to peel back your layers and see what you're really made of. While part of you understands that people want to know you deeply, another part feels like you're under some kind of emotional microscope. As if no matter how much you give, no matter how consistent you are, they're still testing, still evaluating, still unsure if they can trust what they see. The angels want you to know this is not a reflection of your worth. It's not proof that you failed to be understood. This is the behavior of a soul that has been wounded. Someone carrying fears buried so deep, even they might not know why they keep you close, yet also at arm's length, never fully letting you go. Type guided if you trust in God's guidance. You, dear one, have been through enough already. You've climbed out of past hurts with grace. You've survived situations that could have made you hard, yet you chose to stay open, gentle, hopeful. You've stood up for your heart again and again, without demanding the world owe you anything. And now, when someone tries to understand you by pushing your limits, by watching your every move as if waiting for you to slip up, it can feel like one more emotional battle you didn't sign up for. The angels see this clearly. They see your resilience. They see how hard you've worked to stay loving without becoming someone who just lets others walk all over them. They know how much energy it takes to keep showing up as your true self when someone else seems unsure if they can actually receive your love. And still, you don't collapse. Still, you stand. Still, you love even when you're weary. This message, dear one, reveals that someone isn't just curious about you. They are trying to protect themselves from what you represent. Because you aren't just love. You're a reflection of everything they've hoped for but are afraid to trust. They've been hurt before, lied to, disappointed, abandoned. Now that they see something real in you, they feel both hope and fear battling inside them. They are testing you, not because you've done anything wrong, but because they haven't healed the wounds that whisper to them, love always comes with pain, or you always have to earn it. They might be subconsciously waiting for the moment you give up, the moment you act out of character, the moment they can say, see, I was right to be cautious. Not because they want to hurt you, but because that would make their fears feel justified. And yet, what you continue to do is the opposite. You remain steady. You remain kind. You show them that yes, you've been through your own battles too, but you've chosen not to lead with your wounds. The angels ask you now, dear one, to see this moment not as another burden, but as important ground. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not failing for needing space to breathe. What you are doing is extraordinary. Holding love with strength, offering truth without needing to shout, protecting your peace without closing your heart. This person sees that, even if they can't say it yet, they see that no matter how much you've been through, you still meet the world with soul and sincerity. and that unnerves them because maybe no one ever stayed after seeing all their chaos before. Maybe no one kept showing up when things got uncomfortable. But you are showing them a new kind of love. The kind that doesn't need constant validation. The kind that isn't afraid of silence. The kind that understands healing isn't always loud. They don't know how to receive it yet, but they are trying. Your endurance is not unnoticed, dear one. The angels bless your strength that refuses to bend under the weight of emotional uncertainty. They bless your voice that speaks only when rooted in truth. They bless your eyes that still hold softness even when they are tired. This person testing you isn't your enemy. They are a soul in progress, someone trying to unlearn fear. And you, without even realizing it, are helping them do that. But the angels also remind you, your love is sacred. Your energy is precious and limited. You are not here to be an emotional punching bag while someone else figures things out. You are here to love in a way that feels true to you. And if someone cannot recognize your worth without pushing you into exhaustion, then you have every right to rest. You have every right to say, I care about you, but I will not endlessly prove myself to you. You have every right to protect your peace without feeling guilty. So stand strong in your spirit. Let your weariness be felt, not hidden. Let your truth be lived, not just explained. Music transition implied. Dear one, the angels are wrapping you now in the softest light. They know the path you walk is not only sacred but sometimes filled with shadows, uncertainty, and the ache of being misunderstood, even when you try so gently to live your truth. Someone in your world has been watching you, talking to you, maybe even getting close. But you've started to feel something deeper in their energy, a kind of quiet digging, as though they aren't just listening to your words, but trying to understand the spaces between them. It might seem like they want to know everything about you, yet their questions don't always feel safe, and their gaze doesn't always feel gentle. The angels say this is because they aren't only seeking connection. They are trying to uncover a truth they aren't ready to say out loud. There's something about you, dear one, that touches the parts of them they've kept buried, parts they've never shown anyone, parts even they haven't fully understood. When they get close to you, it's like their soul lights up, but their mind pulls back into confusion. Because love that's clear and simple is easy, but love that rises mysteriously, like the moon, awakens everything they thought they had buried for good. You, dear one, carry a softness that doesn't demand attention but always draws it in. Your presence doesn't insist on being known, yet it reveals itself slowly, like moonlight reflecting on still water. And this is what they don't know how to handle. They might be used to people showing everything all at once, wearing their hearts on their sleeves, telling their whole story up front as if that proves their worth. But you hold your energy like a quiet tide. You offer glimpses, not to be secretive, but because your soul speaks in deeper rhythms. And they sense that. They sense there's more to you than what they see. They sense that the longer they stay, the more they'll be pulled into something real, and they're afraid of what that might cost them. That's why they test you. That's why their curiosity feels so intense. They aren't just looking for answers. They're searching for proof that your mystery isn't a mask, but a safe place they can trust. The angels want you to know that this soul's testing comes from fear, not from a desire to control. They're standing in a place of emotional fog, somewhere between what they believe and what they feel, between who they are and who they want to become. They're scared of being deceived, of trusting the wrong person, of stepping into love only to be shattered again. And you, dear one, are bringing up all their hidden fears because your love doesn't come in a package they recognize. It doesn't beg. It doesn't perform. It doesn't force. It simply is. And in its quiet power, it's making them question everything they once believed about safety, closeness, and truth. You aren't being tested because you're unclear. You're being tested because your clarity lies beneath layers of silence and stillness, and they've never learned how to trust anything they can't immediately explain. They might be used to chasing or being chased, used to relationships that thrive on noise and urgency. But you offer stillness, depth, a kind of love that isn't loud but shines, a love that feels like it has no beginning and no end. And they don't know what to do with that. So they test you with questions, by pulling back sometimes with hesitation, trying to figure out if what they feel in your presence is safe or dangerous. But the angels want you to know, dear one, that their fear isn't about your energy. It's a mirror reflecting their own unhealed past. The moon card suggests this connection is being shaped in the realm of feelings and intuition, not just logic. It's not built yet on facts, but on feeling, intuition, dreams, and maybe even facing some shadows. You aren't just two people getting to know each other. You are two spirits learning a dance in a place where truth has to be felt before it can be spoken. In this kind of space, misunderstandings can happen easily. Doubts come up, questions feel heavy, but the angels ask you to hold onto your light. You don't need to chase their understanding. You don't need to defend your softness or make your truth easier for them to swallow. What you are, just as you are, is already divine. This person testing you isn't trying to reject you. They're trying to figure out why they are so moved by you, and whether their heart can risk being moved like this again. They want to understand you because something in you awakens them, and that awakening is stirring up every hidden pain, every old fear, every shadow they've tried to run from. You are not the cause of their confusion. You are the mirror showing them where their soul still longs for healing. And even if they can't put it into words, they feel that your presence could be the key to something they've been searching for, a deeper kind of love, the kind that sees the broken parts and stays anyway. If these words have touched your heart, we ask you to think about supporting this channel. Your contributions allow us to continue sharing divine messages and blessings with people all over the world. Whether it's a super thanks of $10, $20, or any amount you feel called to give, every contribution helps us spread love and light, reaching those who need it most. We thank you for being part of this sacred journey, for allowing us to be a part of your path, and for helping us spread peace and love throughout the world.